Welcome to Oilers Nation Every Day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
Back-to-back dubs for the Edmonton Oilers. That means they are edging with the idea of a 3-game win streak once again. Let's get into it with the lead. Are the Oilers freaks?
I think Amazon Prime has a bit of a kink.
For Beckett Senek.
Unfortunately, he's only 19.
Well, welcome into Oilers Nation Every Day. We are live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online at sportscloset.ca. We are also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, the Oilers hang on. They've won back-to-back games. And now on Thursday, they'll welcome the San Jose Sharks to town with a chance to win 3 in a row. How do we think that game's going to go?
I think they will probably lose.
Probably. And then after that, they'll go, back-to-back games to close. Or no, they'll still have 3 more till the break. It's not over yet.
Yeah, because they have those back-to-backs since Calgary and Toronto.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Calgary, Toronto. And then Saturday, they play Mini. Okay.
Bit of a tough stretch to end there.
A little bit. So last night, a nice 4-point swing for the Edmonton Oilers as, yes, they've won 2 games in a row. They're on the edge of, once again, winning a 3rd consecutive hockey game. And last night, that was a wild one. We know we like to do our, least memorable games of the year. Like, sometimes you watch an Oilers game and you're like, boy, come back to me in 6 months. I will not remember that hockey game happened. That one last night was not the case. I think you will remember that game happened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Ekholm thing was great to see. The Anaheim team is quite entertaining to watch. I will give them credit, all jokes aside. They've got some exciting players, Beckett Seneca being one of them. But yeah, a bit of a roller coaster game for the Oilers in a way. Like, that 4-minute stretch really just defined the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that is kind of the Oilers' superpower, right? Is they can have stretches like that where they take over and are good. And they may be exposed an Anaheim team who is still young and has some lessons to learn. Because you're right, that stretch in the second period when they got goals from Stastny, Ekholm, Nurse, and Ekholm all in the stretch of 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Yes, as Mark Spector pointed out, that is a record, a wildly niche record. 4 goals by a defenseman in 3:49 is the fastest a team has scored 4 goals by a defenseman all time.
How do they find all this crap?
I think they...
who's marking this down? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I'd love to know the previous record.
I think this is one of those things you could just kind of make up.
He might have, and credit to him.
Not Spec. I think the NHL research department.
Yeah, could they not? Surely.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you this has never happened before. So they just throw it out there, and it's never gonna happen again. So who cares?
Yeah.
And if it does, it'll be in Tampa Bay, and we'll never hear about it.
Or maybe it'll happen on Thursday. Things seem to be happening back-to-backs here.
They do. Mattias Ekholm with a hat trick. He was nice and fired up after the game, talking to Tony Barrar. Pretty wild that he went from 2 goals on the year to 5, 3 goals on the year to 6 in one game. Doubled his goal output on the season.
Does he already have he had a 2-goal performance already in his career, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think with the Oilers.
I think he's with the Oilers, yeah. 3 obviously really different goals as well, which was good. He almost got a little bit of the vintage Ekholm shot where he walks down to the face-off dart and just hammers it as hard as he can towards the goalie's head. It wasn't quite as aggressive, but the goal that he had on what would have been the Hyman assist was a really nice goal as well. And he's playing some great hockey right now, and I guess deservedly got a hat trick, but just all in all, I thought it just a strong game from him in general.
Yeah, I thought he made some blunders defensively, but that was more a comment from me on the whole decor in general. I thought had a generally pretty poor hockey game. Evan Bouchard, after his historic performance, I think even the most staunch Bouchard believers would say that last night was not his best hockey game. I felt like Ekholm didn't put Bouchard in a lot of good spots either, and he had a couple of dumb turnovers. Nurse and Wallman, their metrics all look good.
I thought they were good until a third.
I didn't like them on that. Oh, no, that was the Bouchard-Ekholm pairing on that Killorn goal. That second goal was just a mess. Penalty kill, I thought Darnell Nurse was horrendous on the PK.
I agree.
And, whatever.
Penalty kill allowing 3 goals.
All to Mikael Granlund.
Wow.
Who goes from
specialist
10 goals to 12 goals, or 9 goals to 12 goals in that game last night. Yeah, I thought it was a very, very sloppy defensive hockey game for the Edmonton Oilers. Tristan Jarry, luckily for them, was relatively solid despite a couple of gaffes. I just feel like every player that I look back on in that game is like, man, Ekholm had a hat trick, and like that was great. And it's a game we'll remember, like I said. But there were a lot of moments outside of his goals where I was like, God, what is he doing? And, McDavid was buzzing, but McDavid had a couple of bad turnovers, and Jarry made some really big saves at points. But Tristan Jarry also had a whole bunch of moments where, like that Granlund goal where he like overcommits and like falls a little bit and then they pick the corner. It's like, okay, he gave up a couple that you didn't love, and Nurse had a couple of shifts that were horrendous. Like everyone had some good in that game, but everyone also had some awful in that hockey game.
I just think the penalty kill, I mean, at the end of the day, what did they outscore them at 5-on-5? 5-1?
Yeah.
For as bad as it was, they kind of still took control of the game. And even the shots they were getting in the third period, that's when Anaheim really pushed. I think that's when Jarry was able to kind of hold the line. And it was just a penalty kill that was so bad. And even if some guys did have lackluster games, they figured out how to come out on the other side of it. And there's been many nights where they just all collapse for 60 minutes and they don't get any result. So it was one of those games you needed to win because, again, it was a team coming in on the second of back-to-back, missing some key players in the lineup and playing a backup, even a third string, essentially, because their backup's usually a different fella.
No, it's Husso. It's
one other guy.
Well, obviously, Dostal's the starter. There was a point when, Mrazek's hurt, but I think...
Didn't he just get hurt?
Oh, I don't know, but they signed Husso in the summer to be their backup.
Well, Husso's played 12 games. Mrazek's played 10.
Okay. So whatever. But a lot of that came because Dostal was hurt for a while. Anyways, I don't think who cares about the Ducks? They're goalie. What were we talking about? Oh, the Ducks. 4-point swing as well, right? Like this is if you lose that game last night, you're behind the Anaheim Ducks in the standings. And now you're 3 points up. Granted, they have a game in hand, only worth anything if you win them. You move back into a tie with the Vegas Golden Knights atop the division. Again, they have some games in hand on you, but one of the reasons why we didn't do a full-fledged panic back in November and December is because we sat there and said, hey, they're still lingering in the division. They have a ton of home games in January, and then down the stretch, they play a ton of in-division games. You got to win those games, right? Like you have to take advantage. We were critical of them for not taking advantage of the homestand yet, but you win on Thursday. Maybe you win on Saturday too, and all of a sudden you're going to look back on this month and say, hey, they actually pieced together something pretty respectable, even if in the moment on a lot of these games it didn't feel great. Like, what are they now? 2, 4, 6, 7, 4, and 2. Okay, you've won more than you've lost. You've scooped up a couple of loser points, but if you can go beat San Jose and then beat Minnesota on Saturday, I know I'm asking for a lot, but again, elite teams should take advantage of some of these stretches. You're going to sit there at the end of this and be 9-4-2, like 9-4-2, points in 6 of whatever, 6 of 15, or 9-4, 6 of 15. No, 11 of 15.
I just think either way, you probably can't come out of this homestand at 500.
No,
like you got to come out of it on the positive.
You at least got to split these next two, bare minimum.
Because do they have one more before they go on the road, or are they back-to-backs at home? Both at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta come out on top.
Calgary on the road. Okay. Toronto home.
So the next 3, you have to win at least 2 of them.
2 of the next 3, then the Calgary games, hopefully gravy.
I would say 5 points minimum.
I would agree.
You got to win some games.
2-1-1 or 3-1, yeah.
Yeah, their home form has been putrid.
Yep.
Like the fans who are going to these games deserve more. And last night they got their bang for their buck. It was an entertaining hockey game, but again, you're allowing 30. What did Jarry finish with? 35 saves, so close to 40 shots. 41 shots on a team that was missing, what was his name? Mason McTavish, Troy Terry, like another player, Leo Carlson.
They're missing their whole top line.
And it's just like, how are you still allowing that many shots on goal? So that's why I stand on the side of I think Jarry played well and was like the guy that kind of kept him in it, to be honest, because Oilers probably didn't get what they deserved last night.
They're missing Vetrano, too. They're missing 4 of their top 9 players.
Yeah, and second line center last night was Ryan Paling.
Yeah.
And they came into it having won 7 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. And credit to them. And Becca Seneca.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like Anaheim's a good team. And, I would be Not like full-fledged scared, but if it was round 1, I wouldn't be betting on an Oilers sweep or anything crazy like that. I do think when the playoffs come around, things get more difficult, but like Anaheim's got some big boys on that team too.
I think the Oilers could take care of them pretty. Well, at the end of the day, I mean, they walked through Vegas and Dallas last year who had all this experience, and they killed them. So I think the Oilers, when they flip a switch and are like, hey, it's playoff time, I think actually there's one team that's better than them, and it's not in the West.
Yeah, it's Florida. Okay, a couple of comments to get to. I did see a couple of super chats get dropped in. Lance Kane is in, drops in $10. He says, question for my 2 favorite YouTube hosts who also know who I am. Should we prefer a McDavid getting a penalty shot, or would this team prefer a 2-minute power play? Penalty shot all day if it's 97. If it's anyone else, I'd have a conversation, but Connor McDavid, I don't know the exact numbers, but he's got to be like 50-50 on penalty shots in his career. I know shootouts he's not good, but penalty shots, I feel like he has been good.
Yeah, last time, I think he was a little bit wounded, I guess you could say, going into that penalty shot. He took a big hit from Ekholm.
It was actually a good attempt, though. Like, he had the spot to hit. He just didn't score.
Husso was actually good at the start of that game.
Yeah.
And then Stastny got his deflected goal, and it all fell apart for him. I think the player should still serve the penalty. It shouldn't necessarily be a power play, but like that player should go to the box for 2 minutes.
Really?
100%. There's no punishment. Anaheim just went from a one-shot attempt, which is still a penalty shot is good, but then that player just get into play. I think you should have to go to the box for 2 minutes.
Connor McDavid in his career, he's had 9 penalty shot attempts. How many do you think he scored on?
4.
4. Yeah, he's 4 for 9.
There you go.
So 44%. Would you rather take a 44% McDavid penalty shot or a 32% Oilers power play? Give me the 44% McDavid penalty shot. He is the only, in his career, he has 9 penalty shots. Every other Oiler in that time has 11. No one else has ever gotten 2.
I can't think of one other player.
I remember the Hyman one a few years ago.
I don't remember that.
I remember the Gaetan Haas one.
Has Janmark ever gotten one?
Yeah. You ready? You want me to give you this name?
Sure, yeah, I'd love to hear them.
Holloway, Haas, Podkolzin.
Holloway. Podkolzin is this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Or late last year, maybe.
No, it was this year. It was definitely this year.
Okay.
I don't remember when.
Holloway, Haas, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Taylor Hall, Zach Hyman, Tyler Ennis, Jordan Eberle, Sam Gagner, Benoit Pouliot, and the last name. I could give you full access to the internet outside of penalty shot stats, and I could give you 150 guesses, and you would not get it.
Okay. What year did they play?
This guy played 15 games for the Oilers between 2014 and 2016.
I'm not even going to guess. Philippe Cornette.
No, honestly, not even a terrible guess. Andrew Miller.
Andrew Miller. He was like that 26-year-old. He was playing for OKC.
And he was so good in the minors that he'd come up and just be bad. 6 points in 9 games.
November 1st was Podkolzin's. It was the reason you don't remember it. Game 7 of the Blue Jays game.
Well, thank you for that. Andrew says there are so many benefits to a power play over a penalty shot. I mean, those are tough to measure. Scoring if you give me a 12% higher chance of scoring a goal, I am going to take that. And Andrew says even with the risks of a shorthanded goal, that's actually a great point that does not work in your favor at all. You can't get scored on if it's a penalty shot. And last night, both penalty kills, as much as the Oilers penalty kill was ass, both penalty kills were generating some rushes. Yeah, I think we had like 8 2-on-1s.
And even like, right, I was at the start of the third, I guess it would have been, or the second, whatever it was. Bouchard had that great chance. It would have been towards the end, I guess. And he just like didn't shoot the puck.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you waiting for?
Release
that thing.
He tried to like walk
it around, and like, it was like clearly just not enough room for that to even occur.
Okay. We got a few more things here to clean up from the hockey game last night, Liam. Okay. So let's get into it for our friends at Derek Dodge. Derek Dodge, it's a new chapter. They're under new ownership, bringing a fresh approach, new energy, and a renewed focus on customer experience. And right now, they have an unbeatable deal. When you leave the lot with your new vehicle, you're getting flights and accommodations for a trip for 2 to Las Vegas. It's included. It's in there. You buy a new whip, you get a trip. That's tough to beat. Derek Dodge. Visit them 6211 104th Street Northwest or online at derekdodge.com. What did you make? And I see the comment here from Code. How was Josh Samansky?
Well, Should have probably scored.
Well, he should have had a goal. I thought he was good.
I thought he was solid.
Let me start with this. I saw a lot of people criticizing his usage in that hockey game.
God damn it.
Someone came out and said he only got like whatever it was, a minute 50 in the first period or something like that. Okay, in the first period, 10 minutes of that period, roughly, was played with either side on the power play.
Yes.
He's not getting power play time in Edmonton, and it's too early for him to get penalty kill time in Edmonton. I think eventually he can work his way into that conversation. Sure. But, like, I understand that everyone gets frustrated when Knoblauch doesn't play the kids. We get frustrated when Knoblauch doesn't give guys proper opportunities. Last night, it's just not a game that's overly conducive to being able to give your depth players a lot of minutes.
No, I agree.
I think the 7 whatever he got is totally fair in the first period. Like, in the first period, just under 2 minutes to go, Oilers have an ozone draw, and Knoblauch puts out Draisaitl, Savoy, and Samansky.
Yeah.
And 4 seconds after the puck is dropped, Matt Savoy takes a hooking penalty, and the shift's over. That right there should have been another 45 seconds onto Samansky's time on ice.
Yeah, it was unfortunate luck for him. I thought he played well in the minutes that he played.
Yeah.
I think he'll become a player that Knoblauch will trust in his. I think he'll be gone after the Olympics, if I have to be honest. I think it's just a little stretch for him, which is fine. But I think that's a good thing that he's up here and playing. I think Knoblauch will grow to trust him because he's a defensively reliable player. I don't think he was outmatched last night. I think that's the other thing I liked. He didn't look like he was out of place. And I think at the start of the season, when Ike Howard was playing, I think there were certain moments you're like, I don't know if you're quite ready for this step. He did seem ready. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's a full-time NHLer yet, but he seemed to be prepared for the moment. And I liked that. So that was good to see. Also, they did mention on the broadcast that his dad and his brothers were able to fly in from Germany for the game.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they must have found out. They must have found out yesterday that he was coming up.
By the time we found out yesterday in the morning that he was getting called up, he was on the ice and practicing in like an hour.
That's true, yeah. So it must have been yesterday. They got a flight and he was able to come over and see him play. What a moment that would have been if he could have scored.
So an interesting thing to look at, not just straight time on ice, shifts. Like, how many shifts does the player get? Because that tells you how many times Chris Knoblauch was comfortable giving him the pat on the back and saying, get over the boards.
Yep.
He got 15 shifts last night.
That was more than Frederick. And he also finished +2.
You know how many times Ike Howard got less than 15 shifts in a hockey game with the Oilers?
How many games is he?
28 games.
20.
19.
Damn it, I'm pretty good
You're
today.
good at guessing today. Good job.
Tell me the lottery numbers.
But again, the fact he was willing to throw him over the boards 15 times yesterday, I think says a lot. And sometimes time on ice can be a little confusing. If Samansky goes out there for one of his shifts, plays a hard 35 seconds, gets a puck deep, hits a guy, goes off and changes, that is infinitely better than if Knoblauch put him out there for 11 shifts, and on 3 of them, they got hemmed in their own end for 90 seconds, and his time on ice is 11 minutes, and it looks great, but it's like, oh, no, that wasn't a good 11 minutes. Like, last night, this might sound like a bit of an oxymoron, but, like, that was a quality 7.5-minute game from Josh Samansky, and he's earned a chance to once again get 15 shifts next game.
Yeah, and I think it's good, too, that he's come up during a homestand. Like, now they can kind of work him into a little bit. I like what you said. Like, they did try and give him a shift with Draisaitl, and it's just unfortunate a penalty came of it. But I liked him. I thought he was good. And again, I'm just glad to see players continuously come up from Bakersfield and show that they can play. They're not like out of touch. It's really promising. I still don't think he's a third-line center.
What do you think he is?
No, sorry, this season. Okay. Like, he can't be the
I'm
answer.
very confident that next year he can be.
I'm confident he can be on the team for sure.
Yeah.
And push for something, and I like that a lot. So, yeah, I'm glad to see he's got up here. And again, credit to the Oilers staff for finding him. Crazy to think that this guy went undrafted, and I don't know what he was like 5 years ago, of course, but now that he's in the NHL, played in the DEL, and is playing his first NHL game, it's quite the story.
I like this comment from BVB, who said, you can see that he played in the DEL already. He knows how adult hockey is played. Let's see if he is good enough for the NHL level. We'll continue this conversation with Zach Lang, who's our first guest. Matt Larkin's also going to join us at 1 o'clock today. We'll do some trade talk with Larks at the top of the hour. But I think there's something to, like, Josh Samansky. They view him as one day being their third-line center if all goes well. So there's no problem playing in this role. And he looked comfortable in that role. Yeah. I think Ike Howard, what I've learned about him is that he's going to be top 6 or bust.
Ike?
He needs to play with skill and be in positions where he can score, because I'm not sure how much more he can really do. There's room for development. Obviously, there always is with young players, but like, I don't think Ike Howard's ever going to be like a nice, chippy third-line player who gets you 13 goals a year. Like, he's either scoring 30 or he's out of the league in 3 years. Is that crazy to say?
Yes, he will not be out of the league in 3 years.
Okay, well, maybe hyperbole.
He's going to figure it out. Like, I think he's a smart enough player, and I think we saw him develop into a little bit more of like someone who's willing to go get pucks. I thought his passing still isn't perfect, needs to get better, but like progressively got there. I think he's a top 9 player for sure.
I don't think he's a top 9 player. I think he's a top 6 player. He's nothing.
Sure, okay.
Right, I just think like he.
Well, we
he
just
needs
had
to
this
score.
debate so many times where it's just the opposite ends of it.
Yeah.
Dalks is in. 1 game, guys. Let's calm down. Nobody's overreacting.
No. I mean, you just said that you still think he's going back down after the break.
Yeah, like everyone's fine with what he was. He was a good player. I thought he played well. Someone asked further up, were you at the game? You were at the game.
Yeah.
The Joel Quenneville timeout.
Wildly confusing in the building.
So I read online, I can't find it now, but supposedly he was just taking so long that they just called a timeout for him.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you're wasting so much time, then we're calling you the timeout. And that's why he was so upset after I didn't call it. It's like, well, you took forever, which is fair. Like, it is a bit ridiculous sometimes, and I think the Oilers take advantage of this too. Every team does, is you want to challenge these things, is like, then make a decision. Like, it can't just be like you have endless time. Like, and I don't even know how much time they're supposed to be given, but they were looking to see if the puck touched the mesh, which I learned after the game. I just don't know what the time. There should be a time limit.
There is.
But it just seems so loose.
I know.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like a clock that the refs have. I kind of like that they just put their foot down and we're like,
yeah.
Are you challenging this? Yes or no? And Quenneville tries to buy time and it's like, okay, you're seriously still delaying? Timeout.
Yeah. And they could have used it at the end.
Yeah,
they really could have used it at the end.
Yeah.
That stuff always seems to come back and bite you. You see it a lot more in the NFL, I guess, because there's 3 of them. But yeah, I'm glad the refs took control of the situation, didn't just allow it to keep going.
Yeah.
But they also, did it hit the mesh?
I have no idea.
They never showed a replay. I don't know.
They were busy cutting to Beckett Senek's highlights.
And don't worry, when he was freaking out to some of the best bad lip reading I've ever seen before, they then cut to photos of him in 1997 and then 2010 holding the cup. And it was like, man, it's happening on the ice.
Yeah,
like, show
let's
me.
see it. Let's see it.
We missed Hyman's breakaway because they were showing us replays from a period ago. And then it just
great.
cut
Missed a
back.
breakaway?
Hyman
Yeah.
was on that breakaway.
Yeah, it was
was
great.
awful.
And the replay they showed wasn't even like a good replay.
Yeah.
What a roller coaster it was last night for us.
But how about Seneca?
Man, that Becky Seneca. God, I could go on about him all day. How's your black coffee? We're now cream today at the office.
We're out of cream.
We're out of supplies here. We have no dishwasher tablets. We need some
shit.
cream.
Oh, shit.
They have toilet paper now.
Reese asked me today if I had a what did I say? He said
You asked Reese for an allergy pill and he said, why did you have some yummy milk
yummy
today?
milk today. God. That is something I did not want to hear anyone at this office say to me.
Yep.
Or anyone in general, to be honest, just here.
Did Jay Woodcroft get a welcome back video, Tyler? No. Honestly,
it's
bit
been
of a
a
jump
long-
scare when I noticed like halfway through the first period. I was like, oh shit, Woody's on the bench.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been so long that like a welcome back video would have been probably too much. Like it's just how long it's been 3 years.
Although it is funny that Glenn Gulletson got a welcome back sign, like at the TV
Yeah, it
timeout
was
they
just
stopped.
Oh, did he acknowledge it? Like, did he go? Hey,
Yeah, I think Gully gave like a little wave, but they didn't do it for Woody. But again, you're right; it's been too long.
To be fair, Gulletson was here that felt like his entire career.
Yeah, he was here forever. His coffee's not that good.
No.
No. Okay, one more thing to clean up from last night. Tristan Jarry still found a way to have a 900 save percentage.
So many shots.
So many shots, especially in the third. I was talking to Hutz about that today, and he was like, oh, man, there's nothing better than when you're sitting there in your head being like, man, how many saves do I need to get to a 900? Like, my stats aren't good today. And Hutz is like, then the other team just throws like 6 shots from the outside at you. The Ducks pushed really, really hard. And they did have some quality looks, but like, man, I'm looking at their heat map on Natural Stat Trick. The amount of times they just threw pucks from outside the circles on net and Jari could handle them. He played good. He gets full marks. He made some great saves. Also gave up a couple of stinkers. He's a thumbs up performance from me.
Yeah, I was curious. Can we get that poll up, Aaron? We'll get the quality start meter. And I would give him a thumb. Are you able to tell me his 5-on-5 save percentage? I tried to find it. And I'm just useless at those Natural Stat Trick things. But I thought he played well. I didn't love the power play goals. The third one was the third Granlund goal wasn't good because he was out of position. I didn't love the Killorn one, but he just lost the puck. He seems to be fall forward.
Aaron said it before the show. Did he have new skates?
I said that.
Oh, you said that. Sorry.
Yeah. Did he have new skates? Because one of them fell out, which I have never seen before. And I was, not going to lie, I thought we were going to have to talk about being injury prone again today. I thought we were talking about it, but
yeah, can we play the video?
Didn't.
My favorite part is right here when he looks and is like, huh, and then it instantly falls. Like, you can see his skate blade next to the net too, eh? But him, like, again, this is peak comedy when he's like, comes across, skate blade's off, and he goes, what's wrong? Whoop, gone. And just eats shit. Somehow, Trouba didn't score that.
Well,
it was probably even going wide. Like, watch where Trouba shoots this from. This is not going in, even if it doesn't hit Jari.
Let's see. That's a crazy fall. Yeah, it probably isn't.
It's going into the corner.
Yeah, at first I thought it hit his stick. I was like, holy moly, what a save. And shockingly, they didn't really promote it too much on the broadcast either.
No.
But
they didn't even react.
No, they didn't react. It's like, why is he on the ground?
But when he was getting helped off the ice, I was like, oh my God, injury prone. Jay got us. I was so rattled.
Yeah, thankfully it was just a skate blade. Crazy save. Either way, like if it was going wide or not, to even like somehow recover and get back into a position of success is quite remarkable. So I was happy to see that. I thought you did well yesterday. Did you have that number, the 5-on-5?
I think he had a 967 5-on-5.
That's really solid.
I'm just looking.
On the season, I believe it's only a 902 at 5.
He gave up 1 goal at 5 or sorry, I did even strength to include the shots at the end with the goalie out. He allowed 1 even strength goal on 30 shots. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Because, obviously the other 3 Ducks goals were Granlund on the power play.
Yeah, so they had 25 shots at 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And that hit the net, I should say. 10 of them from the slot. It's pretty good. You can see, Aaron, if you want to. You guys see that?
Yep, I can read that.
Just put me on full screen. Oh, 1 second. My Siri thing came up. I haven't had corporate set up this laptop for me. I'll zoom in a little bit. Should I go up? I'll go up.
Let's come right here.
Thanks, Liam. Not much better. Podcast listeners, confused.
Podcast listeners, you can't really see it, but
thanks, Liam. Appreciate you taking the time to make that work. So anyways, Jari was good last night. The penalty kill can go to hell.
Penalty kill's not been too bad recently.
You know, they're actually top 10 in the NHL in the year.
Yeah.
It was number 1 in the NHL since December 23rd, heading into the Jasper night.
Because I know he posted a clip literally 2 days ago being like, penalty kill was great. So yeah, I thought it was fine. There was one other thing. Oh, someone pointed in the chat. That was it. Quinville got a video tribute when he went back to Chicago. To be fair, he did win 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
So I can understand why he got one.
Explain to the podcast listeners in Braille. They're not blind. They're just listening.
Well, maybe some of them are blind.
Maybe.
That would make sense. Hopefully, I would assume not deaf.
And they're really relying on our description of the game then. Yeah. That sucks. I'm sorry. Should we get it to our first guest of the Dailium?
Yeah, hopefully they saw that.
Zach Lang is brought to you by Oodle Noodle. You can take advantage of the value menu deal and add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your order for just $2. Any signature or premium box. OodleNoodle.ca, in-store takeout orders only. Value menu deal. Hello, as we bring in Zach Lang. Zach, how are you doing today on this Tuesday afternoon?
Gentlemen, I'm doing well. That was quite an Edmonton Oilers game last night, to say the very least. But yeah, doing well.
I've been liking your hats a lot recently, Zach. You had that nice blue one yesterday, and now what's this one?
And the little brick hat.
Oh, the little brick. Is this a little brick hat?
No.
Oh.
No, this is an old Alberta lottery hat I got from my grandpa when he had passed away. I do have the little brick or the JB Little hat here as well.
That's sick.
I was contemplating wearing this one, but then I saw the lottery hat, and I was like, man, I haven't worn this one in a while, so I chose this one for the show.
Let's go through the game a little bit last night. Get your take on things. Josh Samansky, where did you come out on his debut last night?
He looked good. I was pleasantly surprised with how good he looked. It looked pretty comfortable. Didn't get a whole lot of shifts early on in that game. Almost had his first NHL goal. It was robbed by, I think it was Jackson Lacombe, snugged that one off of the blue line, or the goal line rather. And then I thought he had a shot a little later on that looked pretty good as well for a chance. But yeah, I was impressed. I think it's really interesting to see, so many of these guys the Oilers signed kind of coming into their own here. Not only him, but like a guy like Roby Jarvente down in the AHL is looking really good as well. Another guy who's knocking on the door for a potential call up. The prospect system that the Oilers have, it feels kind of robust for the first time in quite a while. And it's really nice to kind of see guys like Samansky get a bit of a test run in the NHL here, because evidently they may think that he could be an internal option to fill that 3C role. Obviously, we need to see a bit of a larger sample size, before we really can, decide on that, or the team can decide on that rather. But good for him to get a little bit of experience in the NHL, especially before the Olympics, where he's going to be going up against some very, very good players from around the world.
Well, do you think that would be the right idea? You kind of mentioned it there, for the Oilers to continue on with Samansky for a while at 3C. Like, how long would you kind of give this experiment?
I'd give it 4 or 5 games here. I'd maybe give it until the Olympic break. What is it? It's Thursday they play against San Jose, I think it is. Minnesota on Saturday, and then you got Toronto and Calgary. I think this would be a good little stretch to keep him in the lineup, keep him at 3C, and kind of see what he can do.
Yeah, I even think like you bring up all these names, or you have me thinking of all these names of the Hudsons and the Jarventis. Marhala's having a really good season. Samansky gets the call up. Ike Howard's been bouncing up and down. And like, I do think it's important to remember that not all of these guys are going to pan out. The Oilers aren't just going to snap their fingers next fall and have all 6 of these guys playing in the bottom 6. And it's going to be like, oh my God, this youth movement. But I go back to like 2019-20 with the Condors. I'm looking at that roster. Tyler Benson. Everyone was super high on Benson. Bouchard was there. I know they had some like older guys like Gambardella and Curry, but like there were McLeods, Marody, Yamamoto. Like there was 5-6 players down there, and what came of it? McLeod, Yamamoto, Bouchard. 3 of the 5 were hits. And like, if you're excited about 5 or 6 guys, like this is how good organizations operate. You get a whole bunch of talent that has potential, and maybe 2 or 3 of them are going to pan out. But like that, if you only find out if 2 or 3 are going to pan out if you take shots on 6 or 7 of these guys.
Yeah, exactly. You're rolling the dice. It's a little bit of an Alberta lottery, pun intended, for how these guys could turn out, right? But hey, if you could hit on like even 40 or 50% of these guys, like you're in a good spot, right? We all know the Oilers' salary cap situation. We all know they don't have a lot of money. We all know that they're going to be spending to the cap every year. So they really need to find these guys who can kind of come in and play on some of these cheaper contracts. Like even like a guy like Matt Savoy, like, okay, maybe his season hasn't been incredible or anything like that. He's not in the Calder Trophy race or anything like that. But we've seen steady progression through him in his game throughout the entirety of the season here, to the point where we're at now, where he looks really confident with the puck on his stick, especially in the offensive zone. And he's a guy who works so hard defensively too. And it seems like they're starting to kind of instill that same kind of mindset in some of these other players that they've got down in the American Hockey League. The cohesion, I suppose, between the AHL and the NHL feels as strong as it's been since, times like the late 2010s there, where, there was a number of Condors that came up and played roles on the NHL club.
I think the other thing with Savoy, which has become impressive, I think he's been really good. Let's just say the last 4 or 5 games.
3 points in his last 5.
There you go. He's not even playing with anybody. He's playing on his own, essentially. He's getting the odd shift with Drysdale and McDavid, I should say. Not anyone, just besides those two. Like, he's playing away from them, and I think that's very impressive. But as obviously we get closer to the deadline here, I think someone put in our chat 8 weeks away. Like, what would your number 1 priority be for the Oilers right now?
This might be a little bit of a cop-out, but I'm going to say a top 9 forward. It's kind of a broad scope here. Do they want to get a center? Do they want to get a winger? Do they want to get a kind of hybrid guy who can play both sides? A guy who can slide up the middle a little bit. I think that's kind of what they're going to look at here. You look at the way this lineup is constructed, and personally, I love this top 6. I really do. I think this is the top 6 they got to continue to roll with here. That second line with Draisaitl, Kapanen, and Podkolzin have looked so good when they've been together here so far this season with Kapanen, coming back from injury and stuff. So, maybe it's okay, a third line player then. Maybe that's what we call it, right? Do they want a center? Do they want a winger? That's what they're trying to figure out. We've seen Jack Roslovic play up the middle a little bit. I think he's more akin to playing on the wing. And I think you can see that with this Samansky call up here too, them bumping Roslovic back over to the wing spot here. So, maybe it is the third line center. Maybe I've talked myself into it here a little bit. But I think that's kind of the one spot that they need to address the most. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and pick up another defenseman. We saw last year what happened with Ty Emberson, right? Plays all the regular season, plays some of that opening round against the Kings, and then he's kind of bumped out of the lineup in favor of John Klingberg. Is there another defenseman on the market that they feel could have a similar kind of impact as a guy who's maybe a little bit more experienced, playing in the NHL playoffs? In the same breath, I've loved Emberson's game, and I'm not saying he's a guy who should come out of the lineup or anything. But I also wonder, maybe it's Spencer Stastny, right? A guy who's still young, who's still cutting his teeth in the NHL, no playoff experience to speak of. So maybe it's a third line center, a third line winger, and a third pairing right shot defenseman there that can play on that bottom pairing.
I do think they value versatility, and that's evident from the moves that they've made. Stastny is a guy who can play both sides. They spent a lot on Wallman last year. Frederick, they envisioned him as like a super versatile piece in the bottom 6 that could play center, play the wing, and that's why I think they'll lean more to, and especially because the cost will be less. Like, people are dreaming about the Braden Shens and the Ryan O'Reillys of the world. I just don't know if they have the assets to take those kind of swings. I think the checkdowns are the Boone Jenners and the Eric Hallas, who could be a left wing, could be a center, can play a little physical. Halla at least can skate hard. Like, those pieces who, if Kapanen stays in the top 6, great. If you need to move Roslovic up there and your third line is like Halla, Kapanen, a little Finn connection in Savoy, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe Halla does moonlight in the top 6. I think they're going to really, really push for versatility at this deadline.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, this is something we've seen them do in the past, right? Even look back to last year with picking up Jake Wallman at the deadline, a guy who can play both the left side and the right side. Look at the other players that the team has picked up over the last number of years. It's very clear that they value versatility within their lineup. We all know that Chris Knobloch loves a good line blender. He loves to have as many options as humanly possible. And I think that's something that the Oilers, even just right now where they are, have a lot of, right? There's a lot of guys who can play in different spots, whether it's up front, center, on the wing, and guys who can play on both sides, specifically on the blue line with Jake Wallman.
Speaking of versatility, there's a player in Vancouver that lacks a lot of versatility, pretty one-dimensional guy. Might take the odd penalty here. And Evander Kane, looks like he's on the move again. What do you make of that whole situation with the Canucks?
I, for one, am shocked that Evander Kane is not working out in Vancouver. Shocked, I tell you. I mean, really, I'm not surprised. Jeff Patterson had a pretty funny quote from Evander Kane today about this exact tweet here that's up on the screen. I guess Kane said, quote, "There are a lot of names out there, but just because a Vancouver media guy tweets something out, I get a big scrum today," end quote. Which paints a pretty good picture of Evander Kane in the situation that he's at out there. So, yeah, no surprise, really, that they're looking to flip him. I think that was kind of the idea when they picked him up, right? I think they were optimistic that it was going to end up working out for them in their favor here. But he is a guy who, you can flip at 50% to a team, heading towards the deadline here and be pretty happy. I think Kevin Weeks had a report last week that Dallas and Colorado were a couple of teams that could be targeting Kane. So evidently, when you see a report that the agent is out there shopping a player around right now, it usually means that the general manager is having a bit of a tough time finding a buyer for him.
Yeah, usually they don't pull that card.
Right off the hop.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It would be very funny. I know there's some connection to LA and Ken Holland taking a swing on him. Oh, no. How funny would a round 1 Oilers Kings for the 4th time now. How funny would it be if on the other side of it, it's Fogle, Perry, Kane, and Ceci against the Edmonton Oilers?
I'm sure that Corey Perry would love to be teammates with Evander Kane again.
Oh, yeah, and that
5th time, by the way.
5th time?
5th time they would play the Kings Oilers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy? Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
The other team, I would Colorado. I feel like they can just make anyone good, so I don't want him to go there. But like Dallas, a team that has like struggled scoring outside of the power play in the playoffs last couple of years, and outside of like Mikko Rantanen, Evander Kane's not going there to give you much depth scoring.
No.
And you put him down the lineup, and he just seems to like fade away. And like, don't get me wrong, like he had good moments as an Oiler, like we cannot deny that. But like, it gradually got worse and worse.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you look at Dallas's lineup right now, like I think Kane could be a good fit. I mean, if you look at the Dallas Stars lineup as it is, each one of their top 9, like their first, second, and third line, all have a guy on there that's kind of like a who. Like they got Justin. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Kowichin, something along those lines. I think I'm close there. You know, he's up there on the top line. Maverick Bourque, okay, like he's a promising young prospect on the second line. They've got Sam Steele on the third line. Sam Steele's been on the first line a lot this season. He's been on the second line a lot this season. You know, they got Duchesne and Ben on that third line, but it really does feel like they could use another guy who can or has scored in the past. And I think Kane could certainly do that because in the same breath, you know, you got good guys on each one of those lines that can be two-way forward, solid defensively. You know, Wyatt Johnson, Rupe Hintz, Jamie Benn, Matt Duchesne. They got options there. I think that could make sense for the Dallas Stars for sure.
I wanted to circle back on something before we let you go because we talked about the blue line and maybe adding a piece to there. I thought, and maybe last night's not a fair game to judge it on because I think a lot of players on the Oilers were scrambly. I thought Nurse and Wallman struggled in chunks. I thought Ty Amberson actually ended up having a pretty poor game. He took that bad penalty, which maybe it wasn't a penalty, but he got beat on the play, and that's why they called it. How would you like to see Chris Knobloch and Mark Stewart deploy this blue line going forward? Are there optimal pairings in your mind with these 6?
Well, I mean, Tristan the intern talked about it a while ago. You know, maybe it's time for Nurse and Bouchard to get some runway together. Could that be something that they look at? I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about breaking up the top defensive pairing when they both scored hat tricks in back-to-back games, right? Like, I mean, you know, they're so good together. They know that, right? You know, personally, I like the idea of Wallman and Nurse playing together. You know, it's been a pretty small sample size since Wallman came back from injury. You know, just 42 minutes at 5-on-5, but they're even in terms of goal share, and they're well up in terms of shot attempt share, expected goal share, scoring chance share, high danger chance share. The biggest issue is they're just playing super high event hockey on both sides of the rink. So, you know, is that something that's sustainable? You know, not necessarily, but the underlying numbers are fairly solid for these two guys together. You know, we've seen them have success in the past. You know, I think the biggest thing, and Wallman talked about this ahead of this season, like he kind of wants to know where he's going to be playing. Like, is he going to be playing on his left side? Is he going to play on his right side? You know, some consistency within that, I think, is something that a guy like him needs. You know, even think back to last year during the playoffs when Brett Kulak had to play on his right side for a while, and he looked just completely out of place doing so. So I think for me, like targeting another right shot defenseman, you know, could certainly be an option that they go with. But I do like the idea of Kane and Nurse playing together and getting some more runway. You know, let's see some more of Stastny and Emberson. I think they both have had solid seasons here so far. You know, Emberson especially, again, I think he's a guy who's really stepped up his game so far this season.
Zach, appreciate your time. What's coming up on the site today?
Lots of stuff. We got some good stuff up on the site, some prospect content. Riley Delaney has something looking at a couple of potential call-up options. Spencer Promote's got a prospect update that's going to be coming out here at 1 o'clock, looking at Josh Samansky, Bo Akey, and then one of the AHL contract guys has got something about Daniel Diamadio, 24-year-old, kind of hard-nosed, two-way player that's kind of catching Spencer's eye. So lots of good stuff coming up. Tomorrow we got some trade target stuff that'll be coming up as well here, and then going to be a lot of fun Oilers-related content throughout the Olympic break as well.
Giddy up, read it all, Oilersnation.com. Thanks for popping on, Zach.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
There you go, Zach Lang from Oilersnation.com and the DFO DFS report with Brock Sagan on the daily faceoff side of things as well. Let's go to a little bit of what's trending for our friends at Greta, our go-to party spot in downtown Edmonton. Arcade, bar, street food. Liam, what's your favorite thing about Greta?
My favorite thing about Greta, probably the Jurassic Park game in the corner, right where we used to do all our shows. That's probably my favorite part about Greta is the Jurassic Park game in the corner where we used to do shows.
I had to sneeze mid-ad read there, so thank you for picking me up on
Tyler,
that
what's
one.
your favorite part about Greta?
Football game, number 1. Number 2, how cheap the beer specials are whenever we do our events there. I love that. The underground parking, which is super cheap and affordable and makes getting there and getting out super easily.
It's actually free if you go up to the coat check.
Yeah. So that's what I like.
I'm going spicy vodka rigatoni. That's my favorite
the food
thing
is
at
so
Greta
good.
now. It's
So good.
unbelievable.
Joel, I'll make you a deal. First off, it's pole, not pool. Second off, if you just start sending one message at a time instead of the same message 3 times, which you've now done a 4th time, I will put the poll up for you later on.
Joel,
But
I
I'm
want
not
you to
doing it
give
right
me
now.
right now, Joel, okay? Give me one coherent take. Just one. And I'll consider bringing you on the show.
Someone coming to do the poll so we can all vote no.
Okay. Yeah, put it up there. Should Joel come on the show? We got another comment in here. Oh, we can close
Tristan
off.
Jarry good.
Tristan
Okay.
Jarry gets a lot of good. Only 2% of over 300 of you voted bad for Jarry.
I think that's fair.
So it's interesting that who's the girl that hates him in our chat? Kate.
Kate. It was
Kate
probably
just made
Kate.
2 accounts and voted twice.
His
Interesting.
rebound control.
Yeah.
Not one of them was off a rebound last night.
Kyle says, do you think they add one solid center and one solid RD just to set the lineup in the right spots and see what they have got before the summer? Yeah, I do think, I don't think we're getting an O'Reilly level trade. I think people are going to hate this and probably yell at me. I think you need to be pretty prepared for a Morgan Barron, Colin Miller trade
I think that's great.
and Eric Holla.
Holla holla, city of squalor. That would
I
be
just
awesome.
don't. They're
think
not
that-
getting Panarin. They're not
No.
doing anything like that. And it might be disappointing, but I don't know. I think there's a case for they fixed the goaltending. We think. Add another piece to the blue line. Maybe your blue line's a little bit faster and better. Maybe with Roslovic, who's another thing. They didn't have a Jack Roslovic last year.
Yep.
Maybe your third line's a little bit more prepared to actually try help you win some games. Just add a couple of good depth pieces and see where this team can go this year.
I agree. I don't think they're going to be in on those top guys as much as I would like to fantasize about what a trade package could look like. But also, they obviously need those guys. You can never have too many, but it's not a desperation for them. I think that top line has been electric. I think Kapanen and Podkolzin so far this season have surpassed expectations, especially Kapanen, to be honest. I think we all saw Pod's taking a step, but I would say that. So, yeah, I think that if it was, what did you say, Miller, Holland, Barron, for
whatever,
example.
yeah,
I think that's fun. I think that's good. I think that's 2 forwards who will legit score and a defenseman that will help you.
And we can't clip that because people will kill us on Twitter.
Come kill me.
Don't do that. Maynard said, vodka rigatoni, ? Yes.
Yeah,
It's a kind of
vodka.
food.
Spicy vodka rigatoni.
Do we think the Oilers are maybe waiting for Taves to play his 60th game before making a Mangiapane Taves trade so they don't have to pay that extra bonus?
I don't know
Maybe.
if it's specifically that trade, but yes. I think all teams are waiting for that. Why would you not, right?
Do the Jets, Taves would have to play 9 more games in order for that bonus to
surely.
kick in? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They play 11. So he's got
Perfect.
he should get it if he stays healthy.
And if they healthy scratch him, then he's going to be pissed anyway.
Yeah. But he should get to there before the deadline. So maybe that's a good point, right? Maybe the Oilers are sitting there being like, hey, we're not signing up for an extra $500,000 in cap space just to
Yeah.
do this trade a month early.
What's their cap for next year?
The Jets,
Yeah.
I would assume they have a ton of space. Next season, they're projected to have $23.5 million with a relatively full roster. That's 7 D-men, a goalie, and 3, 6, 8 forwards. So, and all their big guns are locked up too, except for Perfetti.
So is that with the potential bonuses on there?
No.
Okay.
But again, even if they go down to $20 million in cap space, you give them Mangiapane, they go down to 17. They need to send a backup. couple D-men, and a couple forwards. Like, it's nothing. Someone said, just blow it up. Oilers proved they don't need draft picks because they could just sign prospects. Well, I think that's a little bit of a chicken and egg comment. Are the Oilers signing all these prospects because they suck at drafting, or, you know what I mean? Like,
they're trying to rebuild that pool of players.
Because they've traded all their picks recently.
Yeah, because they're trying to reestablish themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Oilers necessarily need a lot of picks. I would agree with that. I think, what's his name, Rick Pricey and his staff have done a really good job of finding guys. I don't know, like even the players they took this past year, like Tommy Laferriere, David Lewandowski, they both look really good. Asher Barnett went to the World Juniors. Looks like a decent little group.
Yeah, totally. All right, a little bit of what's trending again. No Mattias Ekholm at the Olympics. So they announced today, obviously, Jonas Brodin is the D-man who's going to miss the tournament with his injury. And they announced today that Hampus Lindholm is actually going to take his spot, and Marcus Johansson gets the call for the injured Leo Carlsson. So that's interesting. Lindholm over Ekholm is a choice.
It's just wild. Like, I just don't really understand. Like, I put it out there as like, they must really dislike Ekholm. And people did bring back up. Is like, I don't remember the comments, but he was obviously a healthy scratch at the Four Nations. So they were talking about, like, made some comments like he wasn't happy to be a healthy scratch. And I mean, why would he be? He's a veteran defenseman in this league that's played however many games. Like, you would think he would be good enough to play on that team. I'm surprised by it, but I mean, Sweden's been so banged up with injuries. Like, don't be surprised if he's the next guy, unless there's someone else.
And then quickly, Thatcher Demko's done for the year. File that one under news. That surprises nobody.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, it's too bad. He's a great goalie.
Sure.
But it's just is what it is. Like, it's inevitable that this was... He's just constantly injured. Like, you want to talk about injury prone? That is injury prone.
That's injury prone. Don't worry. His $8.5 million extension kicks in this July.
What a goal. Remember over the summer, people were like, should we go get Thatcher Demko? I think both of us were like, comes with a lot of baggage in his injuries. Like, imagine if he was on the Oilers right now, your season would be, you'd be relying on Ingram and Pickett. We
were talking about him. If you're doing it, it's because you're bringing him in to play with Stu.
Yeah, so that's true. You would have Skinner as well. It's just, it's a tough one. I hear Skinner's been good.
Yeah, he's been red hot. Okay.
So I would like to just is our guest here?
Yeah, I think Matt Larkin's here. Let's get out to our second guest of the day. We are doing a little bit of trade deadline talk with our pal Matt Larkin, and all of our trade talk leading up to the deadline right now, Liam, is brought to you by the new Hurley and Levelwear collaboration. Golf is having a moment, and not just in the traditional sense. What used to feel buttoned up has opened into something way more cultural. You are seeing athletes from all around the sporting world get into golf, whether it's basketball, hockey, football, even surfers using it as their new competitive outlet. That is exactly where the Hurley and Levelwear collaboration comes in. Hurley brings that laid-back board sports energy, and the collection pulls inspiration from Hawaiian and coastal prints. Relaxed, expressive, and rooted in lifestyle, Levelwear takes that inspiration and brings it to life through performance-driven, sustainably made apparel that's actually built to move and play.
Our guest is not fully connected right now.
Okay. That is all right. I will continue to say that this collection is live and available on Levelwear's website. If you want to shop, go to levelwear.com to check out the polos, hoodies, hats, and casuals as we will wait for Matt Larkin to get all connected on up. Going to take a look around the NHL a little bit. I had Jeff Merrick on today talking about the Evander Kane thing, actually. He said, don't be surprised if New Jersey is maybe a team that takes a shot at him. They apparently had interest dating back to when he was still an Oiler.
Good idea. I mean, what more sample size do you need? You know
for New Jersey or for Kane?
Kane. Like, even New Jersey, like, there's just these teams, and they're so dumb. Vancouver's one of them. Like, you get in your own damn way of your own success, on non-success, whatever. Like, it's just stupid. Let him have him. Like, God damn it. That's why, like, the LA Kings are now that team. The Canucks are one of those teams. The Devils are one of those teams. Fools.
So Merrick brought up that Nico Hischier has one more year than he's a UFA, and they might be feeling some pressure.
And you're getting Evander Kane?
Well, I think the pressure is maybe that they need to try win quickly.
Oh, my God.
I don't know, man.
Liam hates Kane. I don't hate Kane.
You have a Kane jersey.
I have an Evander Kane jersey. Yes, I do. I just watch him, and he's just not that guy anymore.
He's so overrated.
He had a awful injury,
Mm-hmm.
and he had his surgeries, and he's a power forward that can't skate anymore, and he can't be as physical as he once was. So he can't get to guys quick enough. He's just not the player he once was, and it's too bad because he was a good Oiler. He had great moments for us. That what was it, 2021 run, unreal. He's fallen off a cliff, and it just is what it is. New Jersey, I wouldn't suggest him, but you're a bad franchise, so have him.
Matt Larkin from Daily Faceoff joins us for some trade talk.
I think he's getting his stuff ready. There you go.
Maybe he's there. There he is. There's Matt Larkin. And the mustache is just a part of you now. Okay, one sec. Matt, we'll let you get your mic sorted out, then we'll bring you back. The mustache does look great.
Hasn't he always had a mustache?
No, wasn't that a Movember thing this year? Don't you remember? We were like razzing him about it on the show.
I thought he always had a mustache.
He should keep because it looks good.
Oh, maybe he's just always had
here we go.
full beard.
Matt Larkin, mustache.
Yes. So the deal with the mustache is my wife missed it. So I got rid of it. She missed that thing. She had Stockholm syndrome with that mustache, and it's back in her life. It's back in my life. And by the way, my red complexion, it's not because I dropped my microphone. It's because I've been shoveling snow for so many hours in Toronto that my face is sunburned. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah, you guys are getting just hammered with that winter storm, hey?
Oh, yeah. Most ever in the history of Toronto in a single day. I think almost 2 feet.
Wow.
The snow we had here was insane, too.
Yeah, we got hit like a couple months ago, though.
Yeah, right over Christmas. And I had a penguin in my yard. All you could see was his little head.
What kind of penguin?
Like a Christmas penguin.
Oh, okay.
What do you think I have? A little emperor, what do they call it? Emperor penguin?
Emperor penguin?
You do love the zoo.
I do love the
I don't know
zoo.
what you're up to. All right, let's talk some trades. Matt Larkin, new piece up at Daily Faceoff from Stephen Ellis, kind of ranked some of the sellers. It's a great piece of info for people who want to look at what teams could be moving out ahead of the deadline. But I want to know, who's the team that you think kind of holds the keys to this seller's market in the NHL?
I think right now it's the New York Rangers just based on quality of assets. So Artemi Panarin, he's the belle of the ball. He signed that deal with the Rangers in 2019. He's fifth in the NHL in scoring since he signed that contract. One of the best UFA signings of all time, really. And he still impacts the game so much. He's still better than a point per game scorer. So I just think in terms of how big his impact is, the Rangers, I think that's the first call for teams that really want to make a splash. Also, Vinny Trocheck, excellent option as a number 2 center. I talked about it with Tyler on Daily Faceoff live last week, but he can do so many things well. He's got a great price point. It's not even half of Panarin's cap hit. So they're, to me, the top options. I do think the Canucks are interesting because, yes, you can sell off your spare parts, your Teddy Bluegers, your Evander Kanes, but if they're really motivated to move guys with term, then, you look at Elias Pettersson, you look at Jake DeBrusk, you look at Connor Garland. Boys, what's going on here?
I
feel like such an asshole right now. Someone commented. So we had this commenter who commented 100 times, get me on the podcast, get me on the podcast. And as soon as Larkin started answering, someone commented, man, got to get Joel on this panel. And I can't stop laughing at it. And I felt so bad because I knew I couldn't laugh because it's not funny. And you're giving a really good, serious answer. And that was just compounding in my brain.
Hey, we've all been there. It's all good.
Okay, I'm so
it's
sorry.
like
literally
like
stared
you're
at
at
me.
school assembly,
Oh,
you can't
it's
laugh.
so bad.
I just needed to know. I was compelled by curiosity. I'm like,
I needed to know. I'm in the same room as him. I have no idea what was happening. There's literal
Fuck,
tears
I feel
in his
so
eyes,
bad
Matt.
that I derailed such a good answer. But like the more I thought about how not funny it was, the more I was like, that comment is so funny to me. And I was like, Matt probably thinks like we're laughing at him or something, and we're not. So anyways, Matt, back to your answer. Trocheck, like the Rangers have like the big pieces, right?
they do. And hey, I'm just glad I didn't accidentally say something ridiculous. That's what
Yeah.
I was wondering about. Just the pieces that I think move the needle the most, right? But like I was saying, the Canucks, they have so many pieces that they don't necessarily have to move. And some of the talk to me is really fascinating. Like the idea that Connor Garland could be on the block when his contract hasn't even started yet. It's next year that it kicks in. That to me is wild. But I think once you move Quinn Hughes, it's like, okay, anything's possible. Everyone is for sale if you're moving Quinn Hughes. He is one of your best players in franchise history. If he can go, anybody can go. So to me, the Canucks, I think, are a very interesting team as well. I also think the Blues, like they just have a lot of variety available, right? So if you want goals, there's Jordan Kyrou. If you want a playmaker, I'm rolling my eyes a little bit. I don't know if Robert Thomas is really available. I'm pretty skeptical on that one. If you want a proven goalie who's won before, Jordan Bennington's out there. Minute Muncher, Justin Falk. So I think those would be the top three teams in terms of who has the most fascinating assets.
Yeah.
I think St. Louis has the chance to like stun us the most.
I think so
because
too.
they could very easily stand pat and do like pretty close to nothing. Maybe it's like a Justin Falk trade. But man, if Doug Armstrong just says, screw it, I'm blowing it up, they could move like 3 high-end pieces that bring in hauls. Like, I know it's been a while since his name's really been out there, but like, I always circle back to Parayko. Like, is there a part of Doug Armstrong that's like, I'm going to sell on this guy while his value is like really high?
Yeah, it's a fair question, and we'll see what his deployment is at the Olympics. But theoretically, if it's a good look and he's playing in key situations, he's on the penalty kill, he's out there protecting a lead, then it could up his value. And I think the same applies, of course, to Jordan Bennington. I might talk about him a little more later, but you can showcase yourself at the Olympics and up your value, which isn't necessarily that high right now, given the way the Blues have struggled this year.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah. You mentioned Robert Thomas. Is like, I'm pretty skeptical that they would move that guy too. It always feels like there's one name on the market every year. Like, there's no way they trade that guy. The other one for me, and I know the relationship is maybe not what it used to be, but Jordan Kyrou as well on the Blues. Do you really see him as like a trade option?
I think that Kyrou is more realistic because he's been more maligned throughout his time there, or at least in recent years. Of course, we know he was getting booed. Was it last season that he was booed and he was crying in post-game? I think that was last year. Yeah. And he was healthy scratched this year, right? And he's got the same contract, identical contract to Robert Thomas. But to me, I see some daylight there with Jordan Kyrou. Okay, if the fit is not being there, we don't know 100% how happy he is. Okay, I can see that. With Robert Thomas, it's like he's 26 years old. He's in the 95th percentile in points per game over the last 3 years. Like, why would you trade your first line center in his prime who's very good? Huh? Like, if you trade Robert Thomas, you're like, oh, damn, you know what we need? A Robert Thomas type. I don't get that one. But his name's been out there. I understand.
That actually maybe like the rolling the eyes at the Robert Thomas thing. I kind of do a similar thing with the Elias Pettersson talk where it's like, okay, and maybe it's not eye rolling, it's more wincing of like, no one knows what he is right now. And like, what does a trade for him look like? Because the contract's not good. He's playing bad, but he's obviously a guy with that 100-point potential that I'm sure some teams would love to take him in as a sort of reclamation project. But then it's like, is Vancouver just dumping him? Is like, walk me through the Elias Pettersson situation, because I get confused even trying to ask about it.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, and it's been on my mind. I'm going to write about it later this week because to me, he's one of the most fascinating pieces in play, or maybe not in play. Because, yes, okay, $11.6 million, that's a pretty prohibitive contract if you're looking for someone who's going to be a 100-plus point scorer again, right? And if he's not, it's like, okay, then that price point doesn't make sense. At the same time, I'm still kind of a PD defender because his two-way game is pretty good. He can do a lot of different things well. And I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he's living up to the 100-point reputation in that contract. But to me, the fascinating thing is I think if he lands in a different environment, he's going to be good. And it's going to look bad for the Canucks. And I think he could still be a star again in this league. I really do. I don't think his talent's gone anywhere. I just think the problem is more the space between his ears. And just, even conversations I had leading up to when he signed his extension, it sounded like he wasn't even totally sure he wanted to stay in that market, but he ended up signing, right? I guess it was an offer he couldn't refuse. But I've always questioned his fit based on his sort of indifferent personality. Yes, JT Miller's personality was a clash in that room, but Pettersson's the other extreme. He's almost too nonchalant and too unaffected, I think. So I think if you drop him into a Carolina, for example, I feel like he's a 90-point player next year. It's just going to happen.
Do you think Detroit's also like another possible destination for an Elias Pettersson?
I'm curious what they're going to do in general.
Yeah, Detroit's really interesting to me. We had a thing on Daily Faceoff, a debate, like a roundtable debate of which team needs to go all in at the deadline. And I said Detroit, which I qualified it with, yes, I know they haven't even been in the playoffs in 9 seasons, but I just think it's been such a long wait. And every year, Steve Yzerman has been too conservative because they just weren't really safely in a playoff spot. Dylan Larkin was upset about it last year. They finally have, I think, the wiggle room to make a big move. They have the cap space. They have the prospect capital. They've accumulated so many assets. They can be like, oh, sure, we can kick in a Nate Danielson. Oh, we got Sebastian Cossa. We can throw in a Trey Augustine. It's okay. Like they're just so deep in their pipeline, right? So yes, Elias Pettersson, that's a very intriguing fit for me because again, Detroit can afford to take on a chunky cap hit and a player in his prime because they have enough youth on that team. The only thing is, I feel like right defense is a bigger priority. So I think you have to make sure you address that first. I would have loved them for Rasmus Andersson. If a Colton Parayko's in play, that would be a really good fit. So if I'm Detroit, if I'm Yzerman, I'm looking there first because Moritz Seider needs some help and Simon Evanson needs some help.
I want to go to the area of your trade board. Again, dailyfaceoff.com. You're handling that this year. Big names, potential blockbuster, but too soon in that tier 3. And you have, again, some guys that just the insider, the armchair GM nerd in me, like just smiles reading them. But Erik Karlsson, Morgan Riley, Jordan Binnington, Owen Power, Andrei Svechnikov, Brady Tkachuk, Alexis Lafreniere. I get, like, again, too soon. These are not like, we're talking way below 50% chance probably that one of these guys gets moved. But is there one of them that you look at and kind of like wonder like, maybe it's the Rantanen deal of this year?
Well, I think the cop-out answer is Jordan Binnington because I put him on there only because my qualification in the story was just not now. In the next trade board, he's going to be way higher. But I just think it would have been dumb to trade him before the Olympics because that's going to make things awkward. On Canada, if you're Doug Armstrong, you're like, hey, sorry, I traded you last week from the only team you've ever played for and won a cup with. And also, just from a market standpoint, it would be dumb because Jordan Binnington's value is in the toilet right now. He's been terrible this year. But if he plays for Canada really well, keeps the starting job, and basically shows everybody, look, I'm still good if I'm on a good team, that changes everything, I think, about his value. But again, I feel like that's a cheap answer. I think Brady Tkachuk is the really interesting one. I don't think for this season during the year, though. Right. So I mentioned it to Tyler, I know last week on DFO Live, but to me, Brady Tkachuk, like you took 7 years to make the playoffs the first time. And he's very obviously a competitive person. It drove him crazy. You're back out of the playoffs this year by the looks of it. I don't know. I don't know how well that's going to sit for him. And I think he's going to get a little restless. And I think the vultures are going to start circling Steve Staios. So not in season, but to me, Brady Tkachuk is the most intriguing name on that list in that tier.
We do our bold predictions every January 1. And my one this year was one of the 2 Ontario teams trade their captain.
Not even bold anymore.
It's not even bold anymore. Yeah, it might just be a decent one.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. My bold prediction was Quinn Hughes being traded. So pat myself on the shoulder.
Did you have Minnesota, though? There's no way you had Minnesota as the spot.
I did not have Minnesota. No, I don't think I picked the team. Yeah.
You also have a new piece up right now before we let you go on, projecting lines for kind of the big 4 at the 2026 Olympics. And spoiler alert, although people should go read the full piece because you have power play stuff and all of that. You have McDavid back with Stone and Point. But my question to you, were you tempted to put anyone else on that line? Is there like the next in line where like if the first game doesn't go well, who are you going to be pushing for maybe the next look with 97?
Okay, my answer is going to blow with the chat's mind, I hope. Okay, I'm going to go off the board, literally. Okay. Stone McDavid Point, I just think you don't mess with it. The top 6, they finally figured it out. It took all tournament 4 games, but you know what I mean? You had the second line, especially Crosby and McKinnon and Reinhart was really good. Stone McDavid Point, they had a pretty good vibe together. I don't think they were absolutely dominant, but it worked. And Mark Stone, it's weird. I see some projections out there that have Stone as the scratch. I'm like, what? I think he's like 4th in the league now in points per game. He's having an unbelievable season. I don't understand that. But okay, so outside the box, my replacement on the top line, Braden Point, his status is very iffy right now. We don't know if he's going to be ready in time for the tournament, his lower body injury. So if he has to come out, I know Sam Bennett had said he'd received the text to be the alternate, but there's someone playing with Connor McDavid on his team right now who's on a 49 goal pace. His name is Zach Hyman. And I think if there's an opportunity to bring someone in who already has a shorthand with McDavid, who's playing very well right now, Zach Hyman's peaking at the exact right time.
Oilers fans are kind of doing the whole like, oh, we want our guys to rest. No Ekholm, no Hyman. Get Hyman in there. He deserves it on a human level. God damn it, if you're an Oilers fan, why would you not want to watch that guy in a Hockey Canada jersey?
I know. I mean, Evan Bouchard as well, of course, but I've given up that fight. I mean, I said the day that the team was announced that they got 3 of the 8 defensemen wrong. I don't know what Evan Bouchard has to do to at least get himself on the alternate list. Like, everyone, hat trick, 6 points, please.
Yeah. Yeah, we fight that fight every single
day.
day. Matt, great work as always on Daily Faceoff. Look forward to more trade coverage from you throughout the next sort of 5 weeks. You're crazy that it's like the next 5 weeks going Olympics, then basically right back into trade deadline is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy times. But appreciate you popping on, and we'll chat again soon.
Absolutely. And everyone just remember, watch out for the mini trade deadline, which is February 4th at, I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern, right? So I don't know if there are going to be some deals that get made leading up to that, but it could be a mini crescendo.
That is a good note as well. Matt Larkin, you can read his work at dailyfaceoff.com. Appreciate him giving us some time, and I apologize that I laughed so hard at that one joke. It wasn't even a joke. It was just a comment, and I lost it, and sometimes that happens, so I apologize.
I honestly had no idea what was happening because all of a sudden I'm just watching the show, people talking about the Penguin in the chat, and then you're just looking at me and literally have tears streaming down your face. And then there we were.
Just something so funny about being like mid-serious good answer from Matt Larkin, and then you just read, wonder what Joel thinks about this. I'd love Joel on this panel. I don't know what Joel looks like. I don't care to. But that thought of like a random person just being there, man.
Joel, you became a main character today. I wonder if you're a top fan of the day.
Lance is number 1 on the day.
Joel, not even top 10 for Joel.
Wow.
Pretty pathetic.
Northside Norms 2. I think Super Chats help.
Depressed Canadian is 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Chats probably help.
We did miss, I think, a Super Chat from Depressed Canadian in there.
Oh, sorry.
Who said, legacy players have rarely worked signing with the Oilers. They should not get tapes. Corey Perry?
Duncan Keith was fine.
Duncan Keith was fine. They just paid too much for him.
Yeah. They had many other ones. Those are the only ones.
I'm trying to think of the ones that haven't worked. Honestly, I feel like they almost always work.
Yeah, I feel like they typically.
Mike Smith, does he count as like a legacy player? Maybe
He was looking in.
He was like 7 years removed from being an Olympian when they got him, right?
Yeah, he was definitely out of his prime, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he came and like found a way to have some good seasons here. Like, who are the ones that haven't worked?
I can't think of any.
Do you want me to read that one? Keegan is in. I'm assuming he's 11 years old, so get back to school. He says, Tyler, you're a bumhole. And he used the wrong your, so please get back to class, Keegan.
Yeah, get back to English class.
You gotta figure that out, buddy. Your, and your. It's not that hard. It honestly drives me nuts when people still get there, and there wrong. It's not that hard.
Peyton all the time.
Does he?
All the time.
Oh, to be
in
fair,
the chat.
Peyton walked into a closed restaurant yesterday,
and set off the alarm.
JHH
Mike Green
asked, can I join the show? My coherent take is that Tyler looks like Jari and Liam looks like Kapanen.
Liam does look like Kapanen. Remember when you and Kasperi Kapanen made eye contact during warm-up during the playoffs?
No, I don't. You said that.
No, we were at the game together, and you went and bet on Kapanen to score because you were like, he looked at me during warm-ups, and we made eye contact.
Yeah, that's right. And he did score that game, by the way. He did score that game. We got something going on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I said he probably looked into the crowd and was like, holy shit, that guy looks exactly like me.
Oh, my God. Is that the guy from The Greatest Showman? What's his name again? Boltman or whatever?
I don't know.
It's not a good comparison. I thought Kapanen actually scored yesterday because the one that went off Zellweger, Stasny's goal, I thought it went right off.
Yeah.
Very, very bad way to score your first goal for a team.
Mm-hmm.
Not the way you want to do that.
Rick Dollywall on Evander Kane. He would love to be out of Vancouver yesterday.
P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum.
Vancouver yesterday.
Oh, man.
Kevin Carrier had a line today on the big program, which Michael Menzies was on this morning, by the way.
They had Menzies on the big program?
Yeah, they asked me if I wanted to do it at 7:20, and I said no, but text this guy.
Who just did post-game?
Yeah, I thought I'd help him out a little bit. And Kevin said, he's like, I think Evander Kane loves the idea of being an NHL player right now. I don't think he wants to be an NHL player. I think he loves the idea of being an NHL player. He's going to be very interesting offseason for Evander Kane.
Because is he going to want to take a 1-year, $1.75 million contract somewhere?
Or is he done? Like, and it sounds like I'm really being critical of him, and I clearly am.
Mm-hmm.
But
He does have 8 goals on the year already.
But like his body's just not what he was.
No.
You know
And it's
what I
not going to
mean?
get better.
No, and that's the side of it. I just think he's a big risk for teams. And one, the others are never going to be interested in him. They just can't afford him, first of all. And I just think when you look at his previous, like last year's run, it just wasn't as good as it should have been. And hey, our post-show commenters, the guys who are out there right now at work, are going to comment and probably not going to be happy with the criticism I had of Evander Kane today. And that's fine. It is what it is. It's what makes this show great. But I wouldn't do it. Shooters in said I'd take Kane back for 50% retain. Shooter also said in a post-game chat today when they threw up a picture of Joel Quenneville and said, "Who is that?" So take that, his comments, for what it's worth. Shout out Doug.
If it was, let's pretend it's July 3rd and we're doing our show.
Don't do this. The answer is no.
So we're sitting here. It's July 3rd. Tyler, you could say something like, "Tyler, I can't believe you did the hole-in-one challenge this year. That was awesome." And then I turn to you and I say, "Thank you. It was very emotional and I'm very happy I did it. I still think about it all the time." And then I go, "Liam, Evander Kane's still on the market.
Yeah.
Would you do 1 by 1.5 for Evander Kane?"
No. I wouldn't. I'd take Curtis Lazar for $750,000.
God, he's a
I
dog.
know that I'm getting max effort every single night.
I think I agree with you, but I think your opinion may change on July
No,
3rd.
it won't. I promise you it won't. And if it does, someone call me out and say, "Liam, on January 27th, you said Evander Kane couldn't play in the NHL anymore."
All right.
And maybe he can. That's maybe a bit too harsh. He's still, like, say, got 8 goals, whatever it is, on the season. But I just can't take it. It's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. I mean, and I know people aren't pushing him to be an Oiler by any means, Evander Kane right now. Some people, for sure, but most people aren't. Power forwards, just, if you can't skate, you're not really going to work in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like Trent Frederick right now, he's struggling big time.
Yeah,
But Colson can skate, so it's fine.
Oh, and Podkolzin, he was a dog yesterday. The amount of turnovers he made just from sheer effort, so impressive. That's such a good skill to have.
He's a great player.
Freddie had a decent game. He made some nice plays.
I think Frederick's been good for the past couple of weeks.
He had a point-blank look you just couldn't score on.
It's just too bad he's playing on the fourth line and playing well.
Yeah.
Like, you want more from him, but also, too, we all talked about how he needed to find an identity on this team, and he did find an identity on this team.
Yeah.
And now, unfortunately, he's a fourth-line player, and you want him a bit more from him based off his cap hit. But, hey, maybe that playoffs come around and that line chips in, let's just say 6, 7, 8 goals throughout the run.
Yeah.
And you're probably happy with that, to be honest.
Depressed Canadian dropped in $20 to say bad legacy signings. Lucic, Habibulin, Surrey, and Ferentz. When they signed Lucic,
He was a number 1 player on the market.
he was 29 years old and in his prime.
Ferentz, Decade of Darkness.
Habibulin, Decade of Darkness, Surrey, Decade of Darkness. Like 3 of the 4 examples you gave, if we're calling them legacy signings, even though, again, they were all in... Surrey was in the prime of his career.
Yeah.
And the team sucked.
He also scored 23 goals.
Yeah,
Surrey
Lucic...
for the Oilers.
Yes. And then Surrey got derailed by injuries. Like, Surrey legitimately had 2 great seasons for the Oilers. Lucic also had a 50-point season for the Oilers the year they made the playoffs. Then he fell off a cliff because he was a power forward on the wrong side of 30, and that's what happens to those guys. I think if you want to throw those as your 4 examples, we can sit here and go Duncan Keith, Corey Perry, even to an extent the first time around of the Evander Kane, like the first contract there.
That was great.
That worked out great. Like, there are a lot of examples of these things actually kind of working.
Yeah, I think it depends on the player. And I don't think any of those players, they all had good moments.
And
Habibulin just...
I'm not considering Andrew. I love Andrew Ferentz. Love a local guy. Legacy?
I wouldn't call
Andrew
him a
Ferentz?
legacy player
What?
either. I think they brought
What
him
are we
back literally because he was from the Edmonton area.
Yep.
Someone put in there after I said, like, power forwards who can't skate don't work in Edmonton, and they said Corey Perry doesn't skate. I wouldn't have labeled Corey Perry as a power forward at that time in his career.
No.
Definitely couldn't skate, though. I'll give you that.
Elliot Friedman on the Oilers, quote.
Finally.
It's It's not all that surprising.
Well, it's something. It's something.
They're definitely going to look for a forward. I've heard they feel they need someone who's willing to accept a third or fourth line role. It's hard for guys like Andrew Mangiapane to do that.
That's what I wanted. Okay, that's good.
Mangiapane for Morgan Barron.
Yes. I'm in. You got a player who's a few years younger, half the money. It's fantastic. Finally, Elliot.
Yeah.
It's about damn time. I know LeBron had something the other day, too. Pretty much said they're looking for a top 9 forward. This is what we need. We need a little bit of... We can only speculate so much.
We need some juice.
Give me
we need
something.
some juice.
Just... You're talking about Panarin. Like, the Oilers might be a team. And I know that's a bad example, but it's just give me something to latch onto for a couple of weeks here.
Someone said Perry battling in front of the net is definitely a power forward. No, power forward like plays a certain kind of game. Like that was not Corey Perry. Corey Perry knew how to go to the net and was good in front of the net. But power forward is like relies on physicality, uses their body to create space, all of those things. It's not really Corey Perry. Someone says go get Matt Rempe. No.
No, they don't.
Mulick says Morgan Barron was my doing. Yes.
Yeah, you started that one. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm all in.
If anyone's joining the show, it's Mulick.
Yeah.
Make that very. And
Get
then
on the
Lance.
voicemail. Aaron does a voicemail pre and post games. You can leave your opinions there.
A lot of these names in the chat been firing them off.
Good.
Do you think we get an Oilers trade before the Olympic roster freeze?
Yes.
No. What do
I
you
think
want
they could move Mangiapane just to create the cap space for themselves and try and accrue. That's the only one I could see. I don't know what he would even be, but that's the only one I could see.
That's fair, I guess. That's fair. All right.
Well, they should have got Mason McTavish. I heard he's a...
Not a good...
what Jay said about him.
No, Mason Marchman.
What did I say?
Mason
Oh,
McTavish.
that's what that person said. Sorry.
Mason Marchman?
Oh, it was Joel. Joel, the Oilers should have got Mason Marchman.
If Columbus kept 50% of him, I know Jay doesn't like him, I would make a call on that. He's a rat. I know we don't like him, but we also hated Zach Cassian at one point.
Yeah.
I would make a call on Mason Marchman if he's available.
I wouldn't hate him.
What did Columbus give up for him?
4th round pick, wasn't it?
Or was it a second and a fourth?
Or was it 2? I don't remember. That was our Christmas.
Yeah, they
party.
traded a 2027 second and some other. No, just a 2027 second? Really? God damn it. Why am I so bad at this? A second and a fourth. Sorry. Yep. Or, sorry, second and a sixth.
Okay.
So if you were to call Columbus and say, hey, you gave up a second and a sixth for him, keep 50% and we'll give you a second and a third because they got to keep money. Second and a third for Marchman, 50% retained. I had Brock Sagan on DFO Live earlier this week.
Oh, yeah?
And he said Mason Marchman, since he's been acquired by Columbus, is leading the NHL in individual expected goals per 60.
Really?
Like he's generating at like an insane clip.
Damn.
He's playing with not a lot of great players in Columbus. Like a second and a third to Columbus for Mason Marchman. And do they have a depth D-man they can give us? No one that shoots right. So never mind.
Damn it. Remember a couple of years ago where all they had was defensemen in Columbus? I think it was literally last season. They had like 9 guys. Yeah, he does have 8 goals in 9 games for the Blue Jackets since
I think he
going
scored a
there.
hat trick his first game, maybe.
Oh,
or he
did he?
scored
Okay.
twice in like his first 2 shifts or something crazy like that.
He wouldn't be bad, and he's definitely a guy that would play the bottom 6 role. His cap hit is what? Sorry, around $4 million?
Yeah.
It's not awful.
4.5, yeah.
Not awful. Dallas just...
We know Columbus likes Mangiapane.
Do we know that?
I thought we did.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Second and Mangiapane for Marchman. And then Columbus can sit there and be like, you know what? We got our second back. We basically just traded a 6th round pick to have Mangiapane for a year.
I could see that being a possibility. I wouldn't hate that idea. I wouldn't hate it. If Columbus still falling down, I would assume.
Yeah.
It last a while ago.
They are currently sitting, go wildcard standings. They've won 2 in a row, but they're 8 points out of a playoff spot. They're going to sell.
Barbershop window. Bowman is going to make some mid moves. God, I can't speak today. Too much yummy milk. He's no Holland. I mean, he just went out and got Wallman last trade deadline.
Also, Stan Bowman's made 3 transactions already this year. 4.
Yeah.
Ingram, Jari, Stasny, Roslovic.
Yeah, went and got Roslovic.
Like, he's not sitting on his hands at all.
No. I don't
And
really
yeah, he's probably 4 for 4. I mean, the Skinner thing is whatever, but
yeah, I think the Skinner thing that we all need to understand is like it just wasn't working here anymore. Whether how much we wanted it to, you wanted it to, it doesn't matter. It just wasn't going to pan out the way it is, and he needed a fresh start.
Yeah.
That's fine. Someone said this to me off the air. Might have been Aaron. Might have been someone else. Maybe it was you. What about, and I don't know how I feel about this year. Brett Kulak was very emotional about being back in Edmonton. He's like, I loved it here. Like, I miss being here. Whereas Skinner, the other side of it is, he's like, I forgot what it was like being in Edmonton. Like, I love it in Pittsburgh so much. What if Kulak just re-signs here in the summer? I don't think that's, like, out of the question by any means.
I still think he's going to be a little too expensive.
But if he, like, is like, if he really does love it here and he's like, we'll give you, I think he's $275 now. I don't think he's going to get a payday by any means.
I could see him being the type of guy to take a hometown discount.
I could too. He's made a decent amount of money throughout his career. He's just consistently been that $3 million guy.
I'm good.
I don't know if I would take him back either. I just wonder if that would be something that's like, hey, Brett Kulak might go back to Edmonton in the summer.
We have a lot of lefties. We have younger options now. I think I'm good.
Interesting.
Sign Stasny, Bouch, Nurse, Ekholm, Wallman. Like, again, a lot of things in my mind change if you can ever get Darnell Nurse off the books.
Same.
Because, like, if Nurse is gone and you, like, sign Kulak for $3 million, I'm like, sure, you wanted a veteran, a little bit of insurance, let's do it. But, like, right now, there's just you don't have room for him anymore because I like the younger guys.
That's fair. I just wonder if he's, like, really cheap and he's like, what is he now, 34?
32.
Oh, whoa, I was a little bit younger than I thought.
No interest in Olivier from Columbus for some jam. They signed him this summer. I don't think they'd move him. Oh, like, he's $3 million for 5 more seasons. Like, I'm good. I don't really want Matthew Olivier for 5 more seasons.
No, I don't either. Well, I may as well do a mock trade. Got a couple of minutes here. JHH is in. So when I'll say it first, and I'll say one other thing quickly. Mangiapane, Howard, a first, a second for Panarin, half retained, and a 3-year extension. The one thing that was supposedly put out there, I think it was LeBron that put it out there. The Rangers are looking for a similar package to what the Avalanche gave the Islanders last season for Brock Nelson, which was Kyle Ritchie, first-round pick, and there was one other player in there.
So you're talking Ike, a first, and something.
Yeah.
Ike, a first, and Mangiapane for Panarin.
Yeah.
That's the asking price for Panarin.
That's what he said.
Okay.
And you wouldn't do it?
Yeah. It's not happening. One, the money doesn't work.
Yeah, the money's a factor.
It's not happening. I just don't even,
I'd take Panarin now. Somehow, some way.
Yeah, if he was half the price, they're just not going to win a bidding war like that. O'Reilly and Blankenberg for a first Akey and either another prospect or a cap dump. Probably
O'Reilly?
Ryan O'Reilly.
Ryan O'Reilly. So we don't have him anymore.
Ryan O'Reilly and Nick Blankenberg for a first, a second Akey, and let's call it Mangiapane to make the money work. Sure. I'd do that. I like the Blankenberg idea. I don't know if Nashville's itching to trade him. But again, played with Stasny in Nashville. Right shot, so he fits that description.
Plus, the others just got Stasny.
Yeah.
I think if they wanted Blankenberg, they probably could have to pick in between the two, I would assume.
Yeah, but maybe at that point, Nashville's like, hey, we're not moving too D-men. Like, they still think they're in the hunt.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, like one or the other. Like they cut out Blankenberg instead of Stasny.
But I'm saying, like, maybe they did actually like them both. And Nashville was like, we're not trading both right now.
Fair enough.
Mangiapane, 2 seconds and maybe a third for Boone and Marchment. That's not enough. If you're getting 2 guys in Columbus, it's a first.
Yeah.
Again, like, Freddie alone costed you a second and 2 prospects. Granted, they weren't like A-level prospects, but they were 2 prospects.
2 players who were so young.
And Wallman costed you a first. So, like, you got to keep in mind those past deals, right? Someone keeps saying, oh, this is the guy, I think it's the guy who called me a bum. Mangiapane and a first-rounder for Morgan Geeky.
God,
Keegan, please get back to class. See if they'll
That's not even how you spell Mangiapane.
No.
Come on.
See if they'll throw in Pasternak, too. Trotz asked for Nemec, a first, and Mercer this summer for O'Reilly. Doubt they take that. Also, Blankenberg is great analytically. So is Stasny, to be fair. Nemec, a first, and Mercer. So, yeah, the equivalent for the Oilers is they don't even have it. So that's why I don't think they're winning the bidding war for Ryan O'Reilly, if there is one, if Nashville ends up moving him. I just don't think it's happening. Wonder if there's a swap for Robertson and Panarin. No way Dallas ever does that. Mangiapane, a third and a fifth for McMahon at 50% retained. Not even close. I think Bobby McMahon, if they do trade him, is gonna get him a decent return.
His name out there Like, is he actually like a legit player?
I think it's just because he's a pending UFA. He doesn't have a contract, but like he's got 16 goals on the season and 14 of them have come at even strength. I just don't see a world where Toronto just trades that guy for mid-round picks and Mangiapane. He is 29 years old. He's a late bloomer, all that stuff. But like he had 20 goals last season.
Still plays.
I think if you're getting Bobby McMahon from Toronto, I mean, I would do something that is built around McMahon and Nicholas Waugh. Yeah. If you want to try like retool your whole bottom six in one swing, give me McMahon and Nicholas Waugh, and I'll give you, if Toronto wants to add a first, here's my first, and here's Mangiapane. And next year, I've potentially saved some money. You're taking on the last year of Nicholas Waugh, but like you give up a first, you get Waugh in your bottom six for a couple of years. Maybe you can convince him to take Henrique at this deadline too.
Maybe, yeah.
And then you're like ahead money and you can go do something else. But like, I like McMahon. I just think the cost is way more than you think.
Well, I think one thing to consider is he's a bit younger, but like Shinnikov, who wasn't in the Columbus lineup, went for a second-round pick.
Yeah, and he was like totally on the outs.
Yeah.
So like McMahon's costing you a first.
Kiefer Sherwood was 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
And we all know he's kind of having this crazy season. But it's the market's high. Like Philip Deneau, a guy who couldn't hit a barn door. Cap hit is what it is, and maybe that's a factor in it, but it's still a second-round pick.
Yeah. All right, we got to wrap up here.
We
got Owen Radio to do a little bit later on. Tomorrow, we don't have anyone lined up for
right now.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, then, thanks for tuning in today, everybody. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Enjoy your Tuesday. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.